Welcome to H2o TV. We're excited to bring to you a new segment dedicated to Earth Day action for environmental and climate justice, taking place here in the streets of San Francisco, and organized by Green Action and California Environmental Justice Coalition, protesting the EPA for greater protection on pollution that's taking place in San Francisco. And a special interview with Brian Butler, a community organizer and policy advocate for Green Action.
Ain't no power like the power of the youth, because the power of youth don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the youth, because the power of the youth don't stop. Say what? And so I don't understand what all these politicians are up in arms against, saying we're going to get rid of the EPA because they're against business. Where I come from, they're business's best friends. They're like this with business. And that's wrong, because they should be protecting the people. They should be protecting vulnerable communities. And it's not an issue of color. It's a matter of corporate greed and people taking advantage of vulnerable communities, communities that have the least resources to deal with the repercussions of what they're causing our next and future generations to live with.
What we have in our community is a nuclear weapons laboratory. It is one of two places that has designed every nuclear weapon in the United States. The other is Los Alamos Lab in New Mexico. We're here in front of the EPA to say radiation knows no boundaries. We have toxic waste leaking in our community. We have radioactive materials and waste leaking in our community, in the air, in the soil, in the surface waters in some places, and in the groundwater aquifers. Livermore Laboratory is a federal EPA Superfund site. So like many of you, I have valiantly in my organization of folks who live around this place, who have plumes underneath their homes and underneath our parks. We have told EPA that they are not regulating stringently enough. We call on EPA to regulate to the full extent of their authority.
We are here to protect this earth of ours. We're made from the earth. In many creation stories throughout all the nations, throughout all the countries, whatever God we prayed to, whatever God was our creator, He made us from the earth. Each and every one of us. It doesn't matter what color, it doesn't matter what nationality. We are all brothers and sisters of Mother Earth and the Creator.
Many other groups and coalitions that I'm part of over the past 30 years. Again, I feel good to be in here today because I know that the earth belongs to the people, not Trump, not the EPA, not the corporations. It belongs to all of us. Everything on the earth and in the earth, it belongs to us. And Trump and his administration is not going to take it away from us. So our movement is national and international, and we are winning in spite of the Trump administrations and the attempts to deny climate change and environmental justice. Trump and Puritan and their administration is just liars, period. Flat out liars. That we used to say that they were sheep in wolves in sheep clothing, but now they think the climate is right for them to just strip off the sheep clothing and be straight out wolf, you know. But I guess we'll have to become wolf hunters, you know, to deal with it, because they're not going to get away with rolling back or trampling on our human rights. Our civil rights. We're not going to accept that at all. They are hypocrites and they are liars. So we know that they are liars and they don't believe in nothing but money and weapons of mass destruction. They've already shown that. So we done stripped away the lies, and we know what we have to do to fight back and win victories like we have been doing and that we'll continue to do.
Ain't no power like the power of youth, cause the power of youth don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of youth, cause the power of youth don't stop. Say what?
And yet, we are right to tell them that they have to do a better job of regulating, that they have to hold the government's feet to the fire when the government is the polluter in the community, the same way that they have to hold the corporation's feet to the fire when the corporation is the polluter in the community. So again, radiation knows no boundaries, and that cleanup will take at least until 2070 at one of the Superfund sites that's Livermore Lab, 2080 or beyond at another. Some of that area may become a national sacrifice zone because it's so polluted they don't even know how to clean it up yet.
Trump says cut back. What are we going to do?
Fight back!
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 Trump says cut back.
We say fight back!
Trump says cut back.
We say fight back!
Trump says cut back.
We say fight back!
All right, we're going to take that message. I want to ask the youth. So we're going to line up in the street, in the lane, going that way.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. Get out, Lenore! Get out, Lenore! Dump! Trump! Dump! Trump! Dump! Trump! Dump! Justice! Now!
I am the community organizer and policy advocate for Green Action for Health and Environmental Justice. The first thing I want to tell you right now is the pollution in the Bayview Hunters Point community has been killing the people there. And the government hasn't done nearly enough to protect the life and the lives and the security and the safety of the people that have been living there for decades. There is a closed naval base there, and there's a lot of radioactive contamination that remains and continues to contaminate the area.
Don't stop! Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, 'cause the power of the people don't stop. Say water is life! Water is life!
The residents of Bayview Hunters Point are concerned about the inadequate enforcement, monitoring, inspections, remediation, and regulations of polluting industries, toxic sites, demolition and construction sites. That even includes illegal dumping. A lot of times people feel like the community itself are the ones who are doing the dumping, but it's become kind of the dump of San Francisco. So I think a lot of times people are actually bringing stuff to that community and dumping it there.
The erroneous assumptions underpin the entire concept of offsets, this idea that we can neutralize the emissions from burning fossil fuels with the protection of forests. What we need to do is protect our forests, and we need to keep fossil fuels in the ground. So these people upstairs, while the EPA is looking at massive budget cuts, these folks are privatizing climate action. They want to make it impossible for you to even participate in climate action. It costs $800 to even attend this conference. Navigating the American carbon world. Navigating what? Navigating, they're speculating on pollution. They're speculating on pollution trading. Okay? This is where we need to stand up and make sure that here in California, we hold our political leaders accountable. We want emission reductions at the source. We want to keep fossil fuels in the ground. Okay? So I want to do a little chat with you guys here. I'm going to ask everyone on this side to say, Keep it in the ground.
Keep it in the ground.
No more false solutions.
No more false solutions.
Keep it in the ground.
No more false solutions.
We've, in coordination and partnership with a lot of other agencies, that would be the US EPA, the Cal EPA, the Air District, the Water Board, have created an environmental response task force. We meet monthly, and we've also created a website that the community can go to for them to better connect to these agencies, because oftentimes people don't know where or how to get these issues addressed. Before the BVHP, which stands for Bayview Hunters Point, before the BVHP task force and Ivan reporting website, most residents had no idea how to contact the correct agencies or get into contact with businesses regarding pollution issues that the community faced.
So, Pruitt and Trump are the personification of industry infiltrating our government. But it is absolutely critical for us to remember that here in California, where the Democrats are running the show, we still have fracking, we have urban oil drilling, we still have terrible environmental injustice happening here and now, where our supposed environmentally friendly leaders are running the show. So let's not be distracted by our quote-unquote allies who are on the dole as well. In the past 10 years, Jerry Brown, our Democratic governor, has taken $10 million from the oil industry. And because of that, he has fired regulators for doing their job and replaced them with oil-friendly regulators and people who are looking out for the interests of the oil industry rather than the interests of us. It is one and the same, and that's why we are putting pressure on all legislators in the state of California and saying enough is enough.
Bayview Hunters Point is a vulnerable, low-income community of color that bears a disproportionate burden of pollution from stationary and mobile sources, affecting their land, their water, and their air, and the health of the residents there. The area has historically been the location of dirty and under-regulated industrial operations and unsafe environmental practices.
Why should people care? Why should the residents care? I mean, they already do care. They care about their children. When we go out there and we talk to people, they're like, yeah, my child has asthma. Yes, I have asthma. You know, my partner died, you know, and these health statistics show that. Like, you know, SF-HIP puts out, you know, that Bayview Hunters Point suffers from twice the rate of pediatric asthma than the rest of the city. Their residents in Bayview Hunters Point are live on average 14 years less than the rest of the city. Like, that's, you know, these are startling statistics where it's like, this is our, you know, these are our neighbors. Right. They have twice the rate of cervical and breast cancer than the rest of the city. They have twice the rate of heart failure, and the trends of these things aren't going down. And that's what's really scary, is that we're trying to address these, but because of the toxins and the pollutions and, you know, trying to redevelop the land and exposing more of this toxic waste, like, the trends of these diseases and health problems aren't going down. And so that's where it's really like, why should people care? Because people are dying, because they're dying, and they do care. They know their family's sick, you know what I mean? They just might not know why or what to do about it. Yeah. And that's why you're here. That's why we're here. Right.
Thank you for watching, and we invite you to watch our next segment taking place on International Workers' Day. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below. Thank you.